Your reaction to President Biden's interview there on ABC and what he had to say about the situation as it's unfolding right now in Afghanistan?
Well, you know, the most important thing right now, what I'm focused on, is trying to save lives at that airport. If you want me to delve into the debate that all the clips you played kind of put forward, I was a strong critic of the Trump withdrawal plan, his negotiations with the Taliban. I urged the Biden administration not to continue that policy. I do disagree with President Biden that he had no options. I think it was a mistake, but this is where we are. And right now, I'm more interested in saving lives than scoring points. And we need to fix this situation at the airport. And we do need a clear commitment from President Biden that we are going to stay and hold that ground until every single one of our allies and other Afghans who are likely to be targeted and killed by the Taliban are on planes to safety.
And so to that point, Congressman Malinowski, have you, I'm sure you have reached out to the Biden administration, but have you gotten any response from the Biden administration? And if so, have the responses been satisfactory?
Yes, I've been in constant dialogue with them, but nobody should be satisfied with where we are right now. I mean, you know, we are sending out emails and phone calls to Afghans who we want to rescue and telling them to come to the airport. And people are trying to come to the airport. First, they have to run the gauntlet of the Taliban, and sometimes it takes days to move 100 yards to get to the airport gate, where they risk being beaten, having their documents stolen, even worse. And then when they get to the gate, there are people who are on our list, even people who work for the U.S. government, even people who have U.S. documents and passports who've been turned away by U.S. Marines. Where, you know, we have the State Department and the Pentagon at the highest levels trying to get people out, but somehow that message is not getting to the young Marines at the gate. And that's not the way we should be operating as a capable superpower. And that's got to be fixed. And there are a lot of people really steamed at that right now. This is not a partisan issue. This is about saving lives. I think the administration is well aware of the problem. I know this has been a hugely difficult week for everybody involved, but this is what we've got to deal with right now. And it will help. It would help if the president were to be clear that this deadline of August 31st that he set before Kabul fell, right, is that deadline doesn't apply to this evacuation. We're going to be there until the job is done.
In the conversations that you've had with folks inside the administration, do you think that there, from the administration's perspective, at least behind the scenes, that there is either wiggle room or unofficial, unstated commitment to stay beyond August 31st?
I don't think they've decided not to stay beyond August 31st. It's just that the military appropriately follows orders, and right now the only order they have is August 31st is the deadline. The president's been asked a couple of times in the last couple of days, and he's been a bit ambiguous about it. So I just think we need a clear order to the military that we're going to stay until the job is done, that they'll have the resources they need to fix the problems at the gate and make sure that the State Department, the Defense Department, everyone are totally coordinated on this. And by the way, I think that sends a message to the Afghan people that they have more than 11 days to get out of Kabul, which should produce a little less chaos. And number two, it sends a message to the Taliban that if you want us out, which they do, don't impede this evacuation. Maybe even cooperate with trying to maintain some order outside of that gate, because the faster we can do this, the sooner we'll be out.
And given what you just said, saying to the Taliban, don't impede this evacuation, given your time spent in the Obama administration, your time in Congress, how confident are you that if the Taliban were to say to the administration, we will not stand in the way of the evacuation, that they will hold true to that commitment?
I'm not confident at all. but we've got to use our leverage. Part of our leverage is they want us to leave, as I said. And they've got to know that they're going to have 6,000 plus U.S. troops at that airport for a lot longer than they want if they don't allow Afghans to get to the airport.
If the Taliban were to start attacking evacuees, either on the 31st or certainly after the 31st, the president has said that, if the Taliban were to strike against U.S. military personnel, that the United States would hit back and hit back hard. Do you have confidence that if that were to happen, say on September 1st, given the thousands of troops that we have there, that the president would follow through on that threat?
Well, of course, if the Taliban attack our troops at any point, I have absolute confidence that our military has the capability to defend itself, that they would use that capability, that the president would order them to use that capability.